Having narrowly escaped the ambush at Weathertop, Aragorn and the 4 hobbits dash into the wild, desperately trying to reach the safety of Rivendell. As ever, time is against them. Frodo had taken a grievous wound at Weathertop and suffers under the baleful influence of a Morgul blade. There is no safety in the wild. The companions' only chance is to make for the Ford of Bruinen. Hunting for Athelas to delay the poison, the party are discovered by Arwen, daughter of Elrond. She and her bold horse bear Frodo in a swift race against time, but the Nazgul are relentless, and all 9 are soon on her tail, denied up until now. They have only to cast down one she-elf, and their master's prize will finally be theirs.
Hello and welcome to Striding Edge Games. I am Julian.
I'm Boris.
And we are here on our Quest with the Ringbearer campaign, mission number 10.
Which
mission is this?
Flight to the Ford. We've finally got to one of the big... we had a big cinematic set piece with Weathertop twice, but this is one of the... going back now, I think it featured heavily in like the teaser trailer for Fellowship of the Ring. I remember distinctly with the music and the Nazgul like coming out of the trees. I have a vague memory, I might be wrong, but it's in my mind it's very iconic. It looks certainly on the board one-sided in favour of evil, but actually it really isn't due to shenanigans.
Well, I think everyone in the mission starts off weakened.
Yes, I think that's a good way to say it.
But this is quite impactful on Nazgul because with the Will of Evil.
Yeah.
And what is it? They start with 3?
3 will, I believe, yeah. And then the Witch King has a mighty 4.
Yeah.
He would have 5, but Evil, sadly, spoilers, lost Weathertop. So he goes from 5 down to 4. So we have 3 activations or spells in each Wraith, and that is it. 7 felt low throughout the campaign. And we're on 3.
Yeah, so it means if you want to be involved in any combats, you basically can't really do much magic.
This is gonna be I don't think over super quick, but I think there's going to be one turn of really, really decisive combat, and if it goes well for Evil, we might be in with a good chance. If it doesn't, even if it just goes middling, I think we're out the game because you have Aragorn, some hobbits, Sam, who is actually quite the race slayer, and then Frodo's pretty weak, but Arwen is full stats, as it were. She's fresh. She's got an elven blade. She's got Asfalath. She's got might, will, fate. All that good stuff.
Yeah, and I think we've mentioned before, but this will be in the new edition's rules, and Arwen in the new edition is marginally better.
Yeah.
She's strength 4 now.
4 instead of 3. She's, I think, gone to 2 attack space. I can't remember if she was 2 attack space in the last edition. But she certainly is now.
Asfalath actually has fate.
Yes. We decided not to give her, because match play wise in the new edition, if Elrond's not in the army, you can give her, is it Hadafang?
Hadafang, yeah.
His Elrond's sword. And we were like, well, theoretically, that means she could take it because Elrond's not in this scenario. And I think she's modelled with it. I think it's the same sword.
I think it might be.
As in the movie. I think she wields the one that he wields in the Last Alliance prequel bit. And I think in The Hobbit, might be wrong, it might just be very similar. But we were like, thematically, she's kind of got it on the model.
Maybe she has it.
But we tried it out and she doesn't need the help. And the +1 to wound versus wraiths is just
Yeah,
rough.
I think on Arwen in particular, in this, because also it's a hand and a half.
Yeah.
So with the changing rules as well. She's fight 6 base, so the only one that can threaten her is the Witch King, really.
Yeah.
If she hands and a half, if she 2 hands, Hadafang, and rolls that 6, she's almost untouchable.
Well, because it's Elven Maid, so even if the Witch King rolls a 6, you're winning on 3 up instead of 4 up.
3 up.
Yeah, it's super rough. So we decided not to give her that. She also can't cast Wrath of Bruinen, as per the mission rules, but she's got Renew and 4 Will, which could come in useful for resisting. We'll go over what the state of play is, as it were. So we had 2 missions. We've had Nazgul and Bree, 2 Weathertops, Gandalf at Weathertop, and then the Hobbits at Weathertop. They actually came out a little bit weakened out of Weathertop. Bruised, which is great for me. So I think Merry starts the game with 0 fate because he actually died or got knocked unconscious at Weathertop. And Frodo only starts with 1 will, having lost a lot of it on Weathertop. But due to the mission special rules, the good side have no might, is it, across the board?
Yeah, so for the start, in the same way that the ring wraiths are limited, good has no might on Aragorn or Frodo or Sam.
Merry and Pippin don't have any anyway.
And Frodo starts without fate.
Yeah. So Frodo is 0 might, 1 will, 0 fate.
Yeah, so he's
2 wounds.
He's pretty taxed.
So, yeah, he's out. He does have resistant to magic, so that's nice. But yeah, he's pretty taxed. But the Ringwraiths have 3, and the Witch King has 4. So very, very limited will across the board. In terms of the Nazgul special rules, 5 or 4 on the Witch King start on the board right next to Arwen, an inch away, basically right on her heels. The other 4 you roll to arrive. They're on a 4-up. They come in from anywhere on the side edges, so they can sort of try and head her off at the Ford. It's a 4-up, so they might just never turn up. And they're weakened by the chase because they've been galloping after you all night, and Asphalat is very quick. So they, instead of moving 10, they move d6 plus 4. So you could move anywhere between 5 inches on a roll of a 1 to 10 inches on a roll of a 6. But if you roll the 6, they move 10, and then the horse collapses. And the rider is automatically thrown, which is not great, but hey-ho. So it's a really random sort of... You're going to be reliably moving to 12 inches away, and I'm going to be trying
to keep up.
Cars with a bad clutch, kind of chugging after you. That's the problem with these trees. So that'll be interesting. I think we'll have to try and see if we can do some compels, maybe, not to give the game away. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, well, as you say, Arwen's got quite a lot of will. With Frodo as a passenger, she also has the resistant to magic.
Yeah.
I think it's from on the outset, I think this is, though it looks like you'd think like, oh, it's Arwen versus all 9 of the ring wraiths.
Yeah. And so the Aragorn and the Hobbits move on from this table edge.
And the Aragorn and the Hobbits...
from the first turn, so they can't charge the turn they turn up. So Arwen could stay still and try and link up with them, but the evil side then get to move and could just...
potentially surround her. So I think...
it's a tough call.
I think it's a hard one for evil.
I'd say so. I think... you have that one turn where you have 5 wraiths on the table, and maybe you could get several into combat with her. Maybe you could do some magic. But if you lose that's half your force gone.
And then it's also a question of how much magic you do.
Yeah.
Because on your base wraiths, I mean, if you're doing 2 dice casts,
you have 1 turn of combat.
That wraith's in combat, he's gone.
Yeah. And then as soon as Aragorn is anywhere within 6 inches, you're just unstuck.
Yeah.
Because you have effectively no might other than Arwen. I have no might whatsoever, but Aragorn does get that 1 a turn every turn. So a few turns in, he can still be doing heroic marches, heroic combats, heroic moves.
And also just even with all of his fate, if he loses a fight, he's still probably unlikely to die.
Yeah, he's probably right. And you have the possibility of a free heroic combat with Sam.
Yeah.
So you could combo Sam with Aragorn and then just whiz him around. It can get nasty real quick. So I think evil have to do their damage early. And if you manage to get near the river, we might be in trouble. But maybe the ones coming on from the side will be able to head you off. We'll have to see. Objectives-wise, it's nice and simple again. Evil have to kill Frodo. And that is it. You have to get Frodo off the other board edge. And I think if you kill all the ring wraiths, then obviously the game just ends.
Before that. In fact, actually... just looking at it here, it doesn't say that I have to drive off the board edge.
Wow, whatever. If you get off the board edge, it's fine. One mission special rule is that it's something along the lines of once Asphalat steps in the river, the next turn you can do Wrath of Bruinen and basically wash everything away that's on the river, but it's on a 4-up.
Yeah, I mean, there's the ford is open, but it slows down cavalry. And then once you're there, you can unleash the Wrath of Bruinen.
Which is that really cool bit in the film and the books. But yeah, obviously, so basically you want to be getting across that river as quickly as possible. Once you do, you're good to go. You also gain resistance to magic across the board as well. So once you cross the river, you gain an extra dice to resist because you've kind of got the protection of Imladris. Yeah, you get Fortified Spirit once you cross the river, which is really good. So basically, I need to stop you crossing that river, which, that's correct as per the film and the movies. Predictions?
I think this is a hard scenario for evil.
Yeah.
I mean, good is kind of almost at their like nadir in terms of stats. I mean, Aragorn doesn't have the might.
Yeah.
Frodo doesn't have any fate. So I think there's some chances there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think possibly, it may be that the best opening gambit is to do 5 black darts at Frodo on the first turn.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
That might be the best way, or
but also like that could just spectacularly backfire, and you're now reduced all of your models to 1 will, and haven't done. Maybe you've done a wound, but you haven't killed him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's also the thing about Asfalath is moving 12.
Yeah.
So if I fail to catch you or compel you or do anything, you are going to be ahead of me 2 inches further every turn, and that's more than 2 inches because if I roll a 6,
the variable
move 10,
movement, everything.
So you will be just escaping me faster and faster every turn, and you'll be across the river, and then Aragorn will catch up with me, and that's it. So I think predictions wise, we're going to have to try and go for broke, and if that fails, it might be a quick video. So who knows? No roll off for priority, as it's a narrative mission, so good gain priority. And we've decided for the new rules, they gain and don't choose. You have priority because a lot of the missions are written for good to be moving first. So Arwen will be moving first. We've done predictions. I think we're going to try and get you. I think we're going to at least get into 1 combat.
All right. Well, let's see how we do.
We'll see you in the turn 1. After deployment, this is how it looks. Arwen has to go within 6 inches of the western board edge, just over here. And then the ring wraiths can also go within 6 inches, but have to be an inch away from her. So they're just blocking her in. The hobbits and Aragorn get to move in from the end of the good players move. So we're on to good movement.
And this is where Arwen moves to. And then the rest of the fellowship move on from the board edge. And this is where the rest of the fellowship are. With hobbit movement, they can't get too far away.
And on to the evil moves. We basically have only a few choices. We're going to start with the Wraith on the right of the screen, and he's going to run forward. So we roll a d6 to see how far he goes. 1, okay, so 5 inches. So he's just run forward 5 inches, and he's going to try 2 of his 3 will on a compel. If we can get Arwen coming backwards towards us, that might be our only hope. So we're going to cast on a 3 up. Okay, we got it on a 5. So now we have to decide, what are you resisting with?
The good side is going to spend, Frodo gets a resistant to magic, so that's 1 dice. And then we'll spend Asfalath's point of will. So we're going to try 2 dice on this. We need to beat the 5. That's a 1, sadly. And then for Asfalath, that's a 4. Could spend a point of might, but I think I'm going to need it. So yeah, we're going to be compelled.
And we didn't quite have enough movement for her to reach this wraith, but we've moved her back towards the wraiths on this side. So we'll go on to some other moves. With that magic successful, we'll go on to the furthest left wraith. He's going to roll to see how far he goes. 4, so he moves 8 inches. Should be able to get into combat with Arwen. Unlike her dad, she doesn't cause terror, so he loops around the back and charges into combat. Next, we're going to move the Witch King on the right there. We might cast some magic, but let's see if he gets into combat. A 3, so that should get him into range. As he has a mighty 4 will instead of 3, he's going to cast 1 dice transfix on Arwen, just in case it goes off, needing a 3. A 4, so you do get to resist.
Okay, to beat the 4, we're going to spend Frodo's resistant to magic dice and 1 of Arwen's, I think. So we need a 4 here. This is the resistance. That's a 2. Okay, and Arwen, on a 5, she resists that.
With those combats, we've got the last 2 wraiths to move. The one on the left moves 2, so he goes a 6. He isn't in range of the combat by about half an inch, so he's going to sacrifice himself by being a roadblock between Aragorn and the hobbits, and Arwen. Buy ourselves another turn, maybe. We've got 1 last wraith to move. Let's see, he moves an 8. And that is the end of the movement turn. Not bad from the wraiths. A couple failed to get into combat, but we do have Arwen and Frodo trapped, tagged by 3. She's not transfixed, sadly, so it's still going to be touch and go whether or not we are able to win the combat, but if we do, we stand a good chance of at least doing some damage. And Aragorn and the hobbits are lagging behind. On to the combat as there's no shooting.
So we've got a rather nasty little combat. We've got Arwen surrounded by 3 ring wraiths. Not going to call any heroics. We did debate whether heroic defense would affect... Sorry, because Arwen can call heroic defense, whether that would affect everyone or not, it's hard to say. But I think we're just going to keep our 2 might in case we need it. And we'll lead off with our 2 attacks.
Yeah, 2 attacks versus my 3, but you do have the Elven Blade.
Yeah, so let's go. Oof. Okay, so we've got the 6, which is great.
Big Elven Helmet 6. Okay, 3 attacks back. Oh, not even close, 4 high. So Arwen does win, and she's not transfixed, so she can make strikes.
All right, we're gonna start with the Witch King. We're gonna put 1 strike on him. That doesn't get it. The other strike we're gonna put into that ring wraith on the top of the screen. Also doesn't do anything.
You could spend both might to win it, but no.
Yeah. We're going to leave that and we're going to go into priority for the next turn.
Evil. 4, not bad.
That's a 4. Oh, and it's a 1 for good. That's rough.
I think we're going to keep priority, so I guess it's up to you whether or not you're going to be doing any heroic moves.
At the start of the turn, have debated whether calling a heroic on Aragorn or Arwen. Arwen, though, is actually kind of trapped in the sense that she has to charge a model because she's surrounded by control zones, which means if she spends her might to do the heroic move, she still basically won't get very far, which is what we want. So instead, she's not going to call anything, and Aragorn's going to call a heroic move, which is going to allow him to tag 1 ring wraith, at very least keeping that one away from Frodo. With a little bit of sneaky positioning on the evil side, unfortunately the 3 hobbits are out of range, which means we can't use Sam's ability. So Aragorn's going to have to fight a ring wraith on his own.
Evil moves, and we'll start with the wraith at the top of the screen. He's only got 1 will left because he cast 2 with a spell last turn. D6 to see how far he moves. Big 6. So he moves 6, 10, and then collapses. So that kind of scuppers our plans a little bit. We were going to try and charge him into Arwen and get the sort of big trap, but the Throne Rider, anything but 6 means you are stuck in combat, effectively transfixed. You can't make any strikes. I could throw him against the Hobbit to try and get some wounds, but again, you can't make strikes. So I'm actually just going to move him a few inches to right in front of the Hobbits, Throne Rider, and hopefully he'll just be a blocker for next turn. He's only got 1 will left. A 5. Okay, so he just stands there ready for next turn. And he ends his turn just in front of the Hobbits for next turn. On to the Witch King and the 2 other Wraiths. We've got to roll for their random distance. Hopefully no more 6s. The upper Wraith, no. The right-hand Wraith rolls a 1, that's fine. And the Witch King rolls a 4, okay. The top Wraith there on the screen, it's actually going to cast Transfix as well on the way in on a single dice. No, not on a 2. So all 3 make it in, but no magic. And the Wraiths, we trap Arwen again, which hopefully we can do some damage this time. End of our turn, we have 4 more Wraiths that might come on the board. So 46 and a 4 up, they turn up. Wow. Triple 6 and a 4. Okay, so that's 4 more Wraiths entering the board. And with that, 4 Wraiths coming in, that's great news. However, for the random distance, we rolled 2 1s and 2 2s, so they move on 6 and 5 respectively. The 2 that are moving 6 inches have moved in from this board edge, actually kind of halfway down, closer to Arwen than not, but they're heading in to the melee in the middle. They might be of use in a turn or 2. And the 2 that moved 5 have just come in, again, about halfway down the board towards the river and the edge of the board. And they're going to try, hopefully, next turn, moving a bit faster and get into the central melee. That's all of the moves, and we'll go on to combat. Into the combats with evil priority and no heroics called by good. We'll start with Aragorn's combat, just because it's slightly less consequential. A single poor Wraith against Aragorn. 2-handing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's see what you have to beat. A 6.
Oh, it's a
okay.
6. Oh,
come on. No
on.
might. Oh, okay, he gets it. Yeah, Elven Helmet, he gets it.
Just in case, I'm going to do 1 into the horse first.
Sure.
Which fails. I'll do 1 into the ring wraith, which is looking for a 5, which kills him.
There we go. All right, into the important combat. 3 Wraiths against Arwen. 3 attacks versus her 2. We'll set the bar. A 5 high. It's not bad, not the worst.
For obvious reasons, we're not going to two-hand here.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Ooh, we've got that
We get
big
a 6. The Wraith that's got 1 will is going to pop away, and we have to work out what we're going to do. I think, though it's not the best choice, we're going to go after the Wraith that's closest to Aragorn, which leaves him free to move, hopefully, for the next turn. So let's go. So that's nothing, and nothing. But 1 Wraith's going to die.
And that's the end of the turn. Not too bad. Lost against Arwen again. But we do have 4 more Wraiths on the table, which is pretty good. We'll go straight into priority. Evil, get a 3.
Okay, and good. We're on a 3.
So it goes to good, as Evil had it last turn, and I presume you're going to give it to yourself?
Yes, we'll take it.
Okay.
And for the good movement, the hobbits, Merry and Sam, both passed their courage checks and charged the Ringwraith without issue. Pippin, however, quaking in his boots. And then we thought we didn't even actually film the roll, but Aragorn completely failed his courage check and had to spend 2 points of will to charge this Ringwraith, which has got 1 will, stopping it going after Arwen. And then, free from the clutches of the Witch King and the other Ringwraiths, Arwen has zipped up the middle of the board and is heading straight for that ford.
Okay, into Evil moves. We've lost 2 Wraiths, as it were, because they've only got 1 will and they're already in combat. The Witch King, with 1 point of will remaining, is eyeing up Aragorn and wants to get out of the way. So let's see his random movement for the turn. 2, so he moves 6 inches away. That should keep him safe. So the Southern Wraiths are going to move. The right-hand one, 4 inches, so he moves 8. That's pretty good. And the one on the left-hand side of the screen moves also 4. Not bad. And the 2 Northern Wraiths, the one on the left of the screen moves 5. Okay, so that's 9 inches. And the Wraith on the right-hand side, 4 again, and not bad, so 8. And that's the end of the Evil moves. Really good. We'll take that. The 2 Wraiths on either side have moved kind of diagonally towards the ford, and the Witch King's coming up from behind. We've got so little will, we've chosen not to cast any spells like Compel, because we'll try and keep them for combats later. Onto combat, we have 2 Wraiths that are sadly not going to be with us at the end of the turn, but maybe they can inflict some damage.
Into the combat phase. Because this Wraith is going to disappear anyway, we don't need to do a heroic strength, and the obvious thing is to do a heroic combat so Aragorn gets that extra move getting back closer to the Witch King. So yeah, heroic combat.
1 versus 3. Let's see what the Wraith rolls. A 2. Beat a 2 on 3 dice.
All right, obviously Aragorn's going to be two-handing.
Yeah.
It's 2 6s.
2 6s and a 5. I don't think he needs it.
All right, now Aragorn needs 5s to kill this Wraith, and then he can move again. Oh, yes, he just manages it.
Double
1 6, double 1s.
And the second combat, another poor Wraith, attacked by 2
Being
hobbits.
bullied.
Yeah, 1 attack versus 3 again, because Sam's got a mighty 2. Let's set the bar, another 2.
All
Beat
right,
a 2.
let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, hobbits. As Sam doesn't have any might, we're just looking for 6s and then 5s on these. So let's try. Nope, but that Ringwraith's going to disappear anyway. Okay, with those 2 successful combats, we have the hobbits. I mean, they're kind of irrelevant now for the rest of the game with their 4-inch movement, but Aragorn is closing down fast on that Witch King. And we're into priority.
Okay, Evil. Big 2 again.
All right.
Ooh, a 1. Okay, we'll take it and give it to ourselves. So on to Evil priority. Start of the turn, and Evil have priority. We did say we were going to keep it, but actually, thinking about it, Aragorn's got his point of might, so he's going to heroic move and tag the Witch King. Nothing we can do to stop that. And if we move first, Arwen then gets to react, either rush towards the ford, charge a Wraith and then kill it. So actually we're going to let her move first, decide whether or not she's going to stay away from the ford, which should be great for us, or rush forward on her own and try and cross it, which would also be great for us, and then we get to counter with magic. So we're not forcing Aragorn to spend his point of might, but we get to react. So on to good priority moves.
All right, so for the start of the good turn, Aragorn is going to charge the Witch King. We want to get him as far forwards as possible and hopefully do a heroic combat that will get him even further up the board. Okay, and we just need to pass this courage. Oh, God. So that's the same. We've already spent 2 will, so we've got 1 point of will. We can spend his 3 point of might, which means he's not going to heroic combat. but at least he'll be moving up the board, and that's where Aragorn ends his move. It's not great, but at least he's further up the board. All right, and the end of the good movement phase. The hobbits, which are functionally irrelevant now, they're just moving forwards a little bit more. Aragorn has charged the Witch King, but has spent might and will to do so, and Arwen has charged forwards. She's almost at that ford now, and close to kind of getting over it.
On to the evil moves. The Witch King's locked down, so we have 4 wraiths on horses, desperately going to try and chase Arwen. Start with the Northern Ring wraiths. The left-hand one behind the tree just moves 2, so that's 6 inches, not too bad. After moving, we're going to try some magic. The first wraith is going to cast a Compel on Arwen, see if we can get her back away from that ford. Single dice on a 3. Okay, cast it on a 5, that's not bad. We've got some will to resist.
Yeah, that's not great. We're going to use... So, we've already used Asfalaf's and Arwen's will, a point each. We've got Frodo's resistant. I think we're going to have to use... we're going to use Frodo's resistant and 2 of Arwen's. We've got to beat that 5. So, this is the resistant. Oh no, that's a 4. 2 for Arwen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so she can't spend any might on that. And, yeah, she's compelled. Where's she going to go?
And that is absolutely fantastic news. This Wraith of the Sword Up's now down to 2 will, but we've managed to get Arwen away from the ford. We might give ourselves another turn to try and trap her, and we have 3 more Wraiths to move. And the second Northerly Wraith, his movement, 3. Okay, so he's moving 7 inches, and he rushes up, so he's just within range for next turn. And last, we have the 2 Southerly Wraiths. The one on the right-hand side of the screen, he moves 6 inches, that's not too bad. And lastly, the Wraith on the far left of the screen moves 7 inches as well, that's not too bad. And lastly, that Wraith on the left moves up, he's just within 6 inches, so we're going to try a desperate gamble. We're going to put 2 dice on a black dart, and we're going to target Asfalaf, needing a 5 to cast. Okay, we get it on the big 6. That's really fortunate. So yeah, now you get to decide, are you going to resist, and with how many?
Arwen's pretty taxed out now, so I think we're just going to we're going to chance it on Frodo's resistant to magic. We're looking for, well, a 6. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, no, so what? Who are you attacking?
Yeah, we're going to target Asfalaf, and it's strength 6, defense 4.
Yeah.
So 3s to wound. Let's see if we can get Asfalaf. Okay, it does go through. That is a wound.
Because Asfalaf is a hero mount, Arwen gets to pool her fate with the horse. The horse has got 1, so we'll start with that one. Okay, that's not great. So that's a 2. So we'll try one of Arwen's. She's got 2 fate. No, that's a 3. Okay. On a 3, I could spend a point of might to succeed there, but I think I need to keep the might, so I might spend her last fate. I really hope. This is a big gamble. Okay, that's the exact wrong result. So I can't might the previous roll. She's out of it. So Asfalaf, the noble steed, is dead. And Arwen and Frodo dismounted.
Yeah. Glorfindel's going to be upset with you.
Okay, with that pretty horrific roll, we've got front rider checks for Arwen and Frodo. So Arwen, she's okay on a 3, and then Frodo, he's very okay. But yeah, that's it.
And that's the end of a pretty great movement and magic phase for Evil. Getting the 2 good models off Asfalaf makes it a lot potentially easier for us next turn. We're into combats. Sadly, the Witch King will be leaving us this round as he has 1 will left. But maybe he can do a wound to Aragorn. We can only dream.
On the combat phase, we have the Heir of Isildur versus the Witch King of Angmar. I'm going to 2-hand. Do you want to set the bar?
Yeah, go on then. Mighty 1 attack. A 3.
Oh, it's a 3 high.
Okay.
All right, and Aragorn...
Yeah,
double 6 and a 1. I mean, like...
Yeah, he's all good.
Aragorn's looking for 5s here. And he does it. Okay. That's the Witch King down.
You kill him before he manages to fade. And that's the end of the turn into another big priority. I think it's going to be really key. Potentially last roll of dice. So Evil get a 3 for their priority.
Okay, and for good, I think we want this. Oh, we get the 4.
Okay, into good priority.
Start of the good movement phase. We've taken priority, and the 3 companions are gamely making their way up the board, but they're probably not going to be involved in anything for the rest of the game. Aragorn called a heroic march to get close to Frodo and Arwen, and they've kind of built themselves a little castle. We're going to have ringwraiths, compelling, magic. We're just trying to make it as difficult as possible that Frodo can be charged. And we're on to the evil movements.
Okay, into evil movement. We've got all 4 wraiths potentially in charge range. That variable movement really messing us up. We're going to start with the furthest right wraith. He has 3 will. We're going to chuck 1 dice at a compel on Frodo and try and push him forward towards the other 2. So casting on a 3 up, no, not on a 1. So we'll just move him after the spell. He moves 6 inches, not too bad. After failing to cast, we chose to actually throw that wraith into Aragorn and Arwen, shut down both their control zones. We haven't touched Frodo due to the positioning, so we got some more wraiths to move and try and some compels and charges. Next up, we're going to do the wraith who successfully compelled Arwen last turn, so he's only got 2 will. We're going to spend 1 on a compel on Frodo again. Casting on a 3 up. Okay, no, so he fails, but let's see how far he moves. 8 inches, that's not too bad at all. And he rushes right up next to the combat, not quite joining, but he is left on 1 will remaining. The last fresh wraith, as it were, with 3 will remaining, is going to try a 2 dice compel, see if he can succeed where his fellow Nazgul have failed. 3 up. Okay, we get it on a 5.
Okay, so what, we need to beat a 5?
5, don't you dare.
On
Come
1
on.
dice.
Oh.
Oh, if he had some might, he could have done this, but yeah. Okay, so he is compelled.
And with that final successful compel, our master plan, not really master, desperate gambit has been enacted. We have moved Frodo 2 inches. He's charged that wraith, no courage check needed because he's compelled. And finally, he has put on the 1 ring. So the wraiths won't lose any will against him, and we gain some other benefits that don't really apply, but hopefully we can charge Frodo. Last up, the wraith who just cast on 1 will remaining, his d6 movement. He moves 7, that should be enough. And the very last ring wraith, he's on 1 will, so no spells, but how far does he move? 5 inches. And 5 inches was just enough to get him into combat. We have 3 wraiths on 1 will in combat with the Ringbearer who has the ring on, and we have 1 poor wraith who has 2 will, but is in combat with both Arwen and Aragorn. However, this might be our last desperate gamble to do some damage.
And at the start of the combat phase, this is why we kept might on Arwen. She gets to call a heroic combat, which if we can win, we can hopefully relieve the trapped Ringbearer. And yeah, so we start with that combat.
And into the heroic combat, the Wraith does get 2 attacks. He gets to keep his cavalry bonus. Amazing world. We have 5 attacks coming back against us, and Arwen has a point of might. 1 or 2 handing. Good player.
I think we need this to happen, so I think we're going to have to 2-hand on all of them.
I like it. Okay, let's see what bar you have to beat. 4 high. That's not great, but could be worse.
Right, that's not the worst. We'll start with Aragorn. And he does it. Arwen.
Oh, a 1 and a 3, okay.
So she could have also spent a point of might on that. With Aragorn 6, they've won that combat. We're looking for 5s on both of them. I'll just keep Arwen's 2 because she might need to spend a point of might. So we'll start with Aragorn. Ooh, doesn't do it. And then Arwen. Oh, she gets it on 4. I think we need to spend that point of might. Definitely. Kill that Wraith, and then the 2 can charge the others. And this is where the 2 of them both end up. They're contacting the 2 of the ring wraiths, but we can't get that 3rd one off the Ringbearer.
Yeah, and most importantly, or key, they're no longer in combat with the Ringbearer because you have to divide the fights into one-on-ones. So they will both be disappearing at the end of this turn. Maybe they can block access to the Ringbearer for long enough. However, onto regular combats.
Okay, and then into the combats that are left, we've got Arwen we're going to start with. She's not going to 2-hand because I don't need the kill. I'm just trying to stop the Ringbearer from dying.
Yeah.
Shall I lead off?
Yeah, why not?
Let's go.
Okay.
So she gets a 6.
Well, what would the Wraith have got? Only a 3 high, so loses both ways around.
So Arwen's won that. We're going to make strikes. We're looking for 6s, though. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, well. All right, then we're going to do the Heir of Isildur versus the other Ringwraith. Do you want to go?
Yeah, let's see what we can set the bar at. A 4. Still not very high, but
You've
not
not
too
been
bad.
loving it on these combat rolls.
Okay.
Aragorn gets it on a 4. Again, we weren't two-handing.
So wins it on the fight value.
Okay, now we're looking for 6s. Out we get 1.
Not
That's
even
a dead
need
wraith.
doesn't need a two-hand. And into the desperate last gamble, 1 ring wraith versus the Ringbearer. We would be at half fight due to the ring, but ring wraiths ignore the side effects, the downsides of the ring. So we have the fight advantage, we have the attack advantage, we are on horse. Frodo is out of might and fate. Is it charged too far? Who knows? Evil will set the bar. Let's see what we can do. 4, really consistent. Single dice. Can Frodo save himself?
All right, come on, Frodo. Oh no!
That's about as far away as you wanted to go.
That's a 1.
And Frodo is knocked back. The 2 attacks become 4 strikes. Let's do these in 2 2s for the tension. So strength 4, defense 3, needing 4s.
4s.
Straight away, Frodo is dead, and the second 3 wounds. He takes 3 wounds, and the Ringbearer dies on the wrong side of the Fords of Bruinen. And that is the end of the mission. It stops suddenly with Frodo having taken a mortal wound. 1 wraith left on 1 will on the board. We only just managed it, but his companions have to look on in horror. That wraith probably runs away, and then the rest, who knows, maybe they can drag his body back over the Fords. Maybe Elrond can do something about it, who knows. We'll go into the post-game. And there we go, a fellowship loss, shock loss.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tight game there. I mean, I think actually it was just kind of that sort of lucky, speculative black dart, dismounting.
I had 1 turn of the perfect magic phase, or magic movement turn, and it just didn't work all game. Mostly I'd got a few, 1 compel, transfix never really worked. I tried trapping Arwen a couple of times, but I had, right at the end, I thought that was it. And we got 1 turn where we got the compel, the black dart, the compel on Frodo, and then the charge off.
Yeah, I mean,
All
it was two sets of magic. I mean, it was close.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, maybe I should have mighted the fate back, but then you still would have moved. Arwen was out of place quite far.
But you needed both that might to even get towards the end when she...
Well, yeah, but that might not have happened if...
Yeah, it's always the way, isn't it? You never know up ahead. So we are getting ahead of ourselves. We have a surviving the journey roll. So Frodo died in the campaigns. When a fellowship member dies, you roll d6. On a 1, they're dead. 2 to 5, they recover, 2 to 3, they recover wounded. 4 up, they're fine. If good wins, which they have done every mission apart from Farmer Maggots and the Wizard's Duel.
Well,
you get,
they were evil in Farmer Maggots.
yeah, sorry, yeah, that's true. You get +1 to the roll. So up until now, basically, even if Frodo's died, he's been safe. He can't die.
Well, no, because if Frodo died, you lose a... But the others, Merry died
Yeah.
twice.
Yes, yeah, but they can never die because you either had might or you get +1 to the roll. This is the first time that Frodo legitimately could die. He has no might due to the mission bonus or mission rules. He has no +1, so on 01, the Ringbearer is dead, and this Quest of the Ringbearer campaign is over. I kind of hope you don't roll a 1, but I'm going to put this all on you. I've got my phone. We don't have a dice cam, but I'm going to start recording, and we're going to roll this. So over to you, good sir. The fate of this entire channel.
Yeah, so the fate of the quest hangs in the balance.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 to 3, 4, or 4+ is what you want.
All right. Don't roll a 1. It's not a 1.
It's as close as you could get. It's as close as you could get. That is squeaky bum time, I think they call it. But Frodo is wounded. He regains 1 wound. Otherwise is fine. Doesn't recover. However, they make it through the ford, and then we are at a rest point of the last homely house. Is it?
Yeah, we're on to Rivendell.
So he recovers as normal. I think basically what happened is the ring race failed miserably at Weathertop to actually inflict the Morgul blade wound on him.
Yeah.
So what it just happened here in our quest. This is the first divergence.
Okay. Yeah.
He just, they managed to get him, stab him with the Morgul blade. He's gasping. He's like, and then they whisk him away into Rivendell. So everything's fine. But whew,
yeah.
that was excellent fun. We're not going to bother with doing the recovery rolls because everyone's pretty taxed, but we're just about to hit a rest point, so it'll be a lot of rolling for no points. However, Bravest companion and Fall of a Took. Any preferences? What do you think? We've talked about it a little bit, but
I think in some ways it's kind of Arwen for both of them almost, because she was, she was compelled and trapped, but then she just like kept fighting off like a ton of ring wraiths. She got several kills,
defended against 3 twice,
including the Witch King,
who ties her fight, and she fought them off twice. Managed to escape their sort of net and bomb it and get. She basically got to touching the water almost. She got all the way to the other end of the
almost
board.
to the ford.
And then,
she was compelled again.
Yeah, compelled, black darted, failed 3 fate rolls in a row.
Yeah. I mean, the hobbits collectively are kind of foolish, but that's just because they've got a 4-inch move in this.
This cavalry game.
It's like, Aragorn went to some pretty extreme lengths. I mean, to get that far up the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd agree. Maybe her for both, just uniquely. It doesn't impact anything because obviously it affects the recovery, which but for the ledger, she is both a fool and a brave. She is the bravest fool.
She's the bravest.
Let's call her that. So, what's funny is we've played this before, and it just really is a one-sided. It was a one-sided mission. Reading it and talking about it from a while ago to recently, we were like, this is a really easy mission for evil to lose. It's a hard one. It's just a weird little last one before you get to Rivendell and the rest point. Completely bucking my expectations that we managed to pull it out, I think, just through dumb luck. How do you feel versus your expectations going into this?
Yeah, I think it still holds true. I mean, the thing is the ring wraiths, they do suck. They're
fine, yeah.
They have magic, which is great, but when they don't have a wall of mooks in front of them, and they have to do all the fighting themselves, it's not something that they are good at.
And we've been saying all along, 7 will is so few, 3 will is so few.
3 will is crazy.
But again, that's how you balance. If you had 9 of them, and I got really good, all 4 came on in the second turn, and before we played it, they came on in sort of drips and drabs. So I was able to throw 4 right in the middle and sort of see you off, whereas before I think we're 1 or 2 have come in, and then the others have struggled. So. If at one point, I can't remember if all 9 were on the table at one point, maybe not, but you would have had, if they were all at 7 will, you would have had nearly 70 will, because there were 7.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is when you got 3 will, I mean, you did that 1 black dart, which it did go off.
Yeah.
But it's a 1 in 3 chance of casting it.
It was a Hail Mary.
And it's a real, and even then, you get the resist, and then you got to roll to wound.
It might be the first time in the campaign that Black Dart's actually done something. I've definitely cast it before, but I think it's always been resisted or failed to wound or been saved by fate.
I mean, even in the old edition when it was Strength 9, I mean, it still was and it was easier to cast as well, wasn't it?
No, the same. Still fun.
Was it the same?
Yeah.
But it's a dicey magic spell. I mean, excuse the pun. But the chances of it actually working are really small.
Yeah, so it was that perfect turn of a black dart, a compel on Frodo, decent amount of movement on the race, but still keeping their mounts, not rolling a 6. It was just, I got the perfect turn, as perfect a turn as I could have asked for, and even then you basically came within a hair's breadth of countering it by throwing the heroic combat, killing the 2 wraiths, one more turn. If Frodo didn't have the ring on, that wraith would have disappeared. Although it would have killed Frodo, but it was incredibly close, which is lovely to see. Completely countered my expectations as well. I think just a lot of wraiths, it's that same thing of they are on 1 will, they got tagged in combat. You're like, okay, they're gone.
They just float away. Especially the first combat that went exactly kind of how you expect that.
Yeah,
you were spending will to do the magic spells and to compel her, and you're like, great, transfix, great, and then you're like, oh,
she rolled a 6.
Well, she resisted, but even if she had been transfixed, the best you could hope for was to win the combat and maybe do some wounds.
Maybe,
But honestly, I'm not even sure. I think compel is a great spell. Transfix, when your ring wraiths are involved in the fighting, the only reason you do it is because you don't want your ring wraith to die.
Yeah, possibly in this scenario, I'd possibly do it against Aragorn because he's got the 2-hand strength 4.
Yeah,
so he can wound them on 5. Or so's Arwen actually.
But you'd almost be better off just compelling him away.
Yeah, possibly.
You know, that's kind of what you want to do is, you know, you want to stop people from charging your ring wraiths because, as we've seen, even like hobbits can just kill a ring wraith.
Yeah, I mean, they can just tax it to death, basically.
Yeah, like you just get lucky, and they're spending all of this will all the time. And in this scenario, that's just like ratcheted up to like.
It makes it very fast, at least. And I think we always try if we remember, try and say whether or not we'd recommend this as a scenario for others to play at home. I think I probably would, but you do need 9 ring wraiths on horse, which is quite expensive because they're old metals from GW.
Yeah. I mean, well, you can proxy it, I suppose.
You can do whatever. Maybe it's quite quick, so you could play it a couple of times.
It's reasonably quick. I mean,
I think there's others in this kind of chunk of scenarios I would prefer to play over this one, but maybe you could probably re-rack it and play it a couple of different times. Maybe play it with the quest book says you could substitute Glorfindel in, so you're book accurate, but then he starts on foot with Aragorn on the hobbits, and then it's only Frodo on the horse, and that's it. But
honestly, I kind of think that's fine. Like, I mean,
guess, yeah.
You've got Glorfindel and Aragorn as 2 of the like most powerful fighters.
Yeah.
There, you probably would take the really dicey risk of just running Frodo, like over to Aragorn.
Loop him round and just go and make a little castle,
and just make a little castle, and then you just be like, "Come at me! I've got, Lord of the West and Aragorn with free might, and Glorfindel's basically just, the ring wraiths aren't going to touch him."
No. Well, he also causes terror, doesn't he?
And he causes terror.
Yeah, so all sorts of nasty things. Yeah, if you want to be the only thing that would bug me is there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no Frodo on his own on Asphaleth.
You'd have to convert a Frodo on Asphaleth.
Yeah, I mean, you get like a Rohan horse, a
spare
horse.
It's doable.
Doable, but it'd be a bit weird.
You could use the...
I guess he's mostly a cloak, so you could just make a green stuff cloak over like a little armature and just put a face inside it.
Or just use the Merry or Pippin plastic.
Oh yeah, true.
You'd have to round off the back, but you'd be filling a cloak. But yeah.
I mean, it's doable, but that makes it more than just a play in the evening.
I think for that particular mission, I just think, it would be funny to play it. I just really think as a good player, you would just be like, Frodo's just gonna go over here.
Yeah. Because you guarantee you have first turn guaranteed.
Yeah, and because the ring wraiths are always probably going to deploy within 1 inch of you. Yeah. So then you move and you're like, well, I've got 12 inches. Lol, I'm over here. Yeah. Everyone else moves around and cages me. Now what? Like you can just black dart, and as we've established, I mean, I think black dart is.
It can do good work.
It can do good work, but it's just the chances are low.
If it didn't, then if that black dart didn't go off, it basically would have meant next turn Arwen had 2 points of might at that point. Heroic move, nothing to counter from the ring race. Cool, game's over because she's across the river.
She's across the river, yeah.
I mean, although we did establish you don't actually walk off the river, you have to kill the ring race, but then you can do the river thing, and then they just sit. Yeah, anyway. So
then the best they can do is stand on the other side because the river's 6 inches basically.
Yes.
So
they can black dart from the other side.
But
maybe
black dart's short ranged.
Oh, it is, yeah. So I mean, who knows? It becomes less exciting a game. So I'm kind of glad that didn't happen on ours. Wild game. This is the last time we see race for a little while.
I mean, we're not going to see them until the Dead Marshes, I believe.
Dead Marshes, then Osgiliath, isn't it?
And in Osgiliath.
Yeah, so we're gone with the race for a little while. Kind of not pleased, but I've mostly played the race just from the kind of coincidence of how we split the switch in good and evil.
Yeah.
I feel like I know them a bit better. Maybe not in like match play terms. I know them a fair bit better, and I think I'm nice and ready to move on. We are now at Rivendell.
We're at Rivendell.
The last homely house. We will make a little video, sort of another rest point video, as we have done previously, talking about the last set of missions, what the hobby we've done, that sort of thing. We really enjoyed the board for this one. You built a little dry stone wall of rocks at the end. Hopefully you guys saw that's kind of represents the cliffs outside Imladris.
Channeling our passions.
Yeah, absolutely. The river board is from Buckleberry Ferry, if you can remember back that far, and we can. But reverse, there's a little Ford in it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, this one, but I'm looking forward to, we're now...
some different models.
Onto the big, proper, full fat fellowship.
Yeah, I mean...
all 9, 10, technically, models.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the next key epic point is definitely the Battle in Balin's Tomb.
Yeah, which will be the next sort of slice of missions, block of missions, whatever you want to call them. We will be swapping as well, so I will be back to being the good, and I get to take on some good models. And we have, as I say, Rivendell, and then Pass of Caradhras, little card game mission. We've got some cards back there, some specially bought cards. But yeah, we've enjoyed that. Any final thoughts about Flight to the Ford? Facing down Ringrace for the last time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting mission, I would say. That didn't go as I expected. I think it was probably partly just pure luck, really.
Yeah,
that
I got one
ended
really
up
lucky
that way.
turn. Yeah, I got one really lucky turn.
And actually, just even Frodo without fate, you were rolling 4 dice. It was a 50-50 that you would kill him, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, just about.
So, and you did better than a 50-50.
Yes,
But,
yeah.
you know, the chances were that even in that pretty stacked situation, he could just survive. So, I think it came down to a reasonable little bit of luck right at the end there
Right
for
at the
you.
end. Yeah, it was decent. The race to Jewett, I think, after they got beaten up on Weathertop twice.
Yeah, I mean, they were just really, really pissed.
Yeah, they were really upset about it all. But that was a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed that. We have been having a blast setting up these boards, as hopefully you can see. Please do drop us a comment. Let us know your favourite bit of this mission or missions previously. There's some social media things along the bottom here if I've done my job right. Give us a like, follow, all that sort of good stuff. Exactly, thank you, my glamorous assistant. And with that, do you want to take us out into Rivendell?
Yeah, let's go get some... oh, it's not Lembas here. What do they do? They have, like, you know, salad and things. Get some elven wine.
Elven wine and singing.
Yeah, elven wine and
That sounds
singing.
like a good idea, actually. We've got beer, maybe.
Meet up with Bilbo.
Meet up with Bilbo. Let's go meet up with Bilbo. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.